Hey guys, welcome back to that 20 something cast. I'm Taya.
And I'm Mama. Thank you guys so much for popping in for yet another
Yeah.
podcast episode. you know, as always, we have some exciting topics. And at the time of this recording, it would have been close to Valentine. You know,
Right.
wait yes, it would, Valentine's would have just passed. So we have
Yes.
a heavy topic. But before we do so, as always, you know the deal, you know the usual. We gotta have a mental check-in. So how has your day been going, Taya? How are you guys coping? Are we protecting our mental peace?
I'm definitely trying my best to protect my mental peace. I must say that the past week has really been a rough week for me this past week. Speaking of last week, it just things just weren't flowing. I wasn't feeling the best. Uh, in terms of just overall pain that I know was associated with that time of the month, but it just was amplified this time around. I don't know. So I was really feeling sluggish. I just was not feeling to do
Mm.
anything or to be in the mood for anything, to be honest. I just did not feel as motivated as I would have wanted to be. So for me, it really was a rough week. But in general, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good right now. I'm back on it. And I think that's the thing. Sometimes we may have days that don't work out or days that aren't as productive, but we just have to know, all right, we have goals, we have things we want to get done, and just get back on it. Just don't give up, especially with the pandemic and everything. It can be a bit depressing, or, persons may feel down. And I just want to take the time to say, keep pushing, keep going. If you need to take a break, because I feel like that's what it was for me, a break, then do that and just get back on it. Take your time. How about you, Marvel?
I agree with what that advice for just taking the time because to me, I feel like lately my mental health has been doing good. I've improved certain things, and I'm not sure if I told you guys this. If you guys tune into our regular IG lives, I was trying to fast, and it ended at the end of January, and I think that helped a lot. So I'm definitely in a better mental space with school, with everything going on. So yeah, can't be mad. Can't be mad. Can't be too mad.
Yes, right. And that's great though. That's really good. Hey, as you
Yeah,
said, it helps, and once it helps, I think that's the most important thing. Whoever can make us feel better and do better, definitely.
yes sir, yes sir. We want to hear about your mental check-ins. You can slide us a DM on Instagram at I am Mava and
Latoya.uno.
yes sir. And don't forget to follow us and subscribe to the podcast.
Yes, please.
We're not dally no longer. Today's episode. Ty, you wanna drop it on them? You wanna drop it on them? You can see by the
Oh,
title.
Let me drop that bomb. It's the bomb, okay? But I mean, it's a very interesting topic. Maybe controversial, but hey, sometimes you have to get down into those deep waters, and it's a topic
Exactly.
like that. So the topic for today is, if he ain't spending, he's a waste man.
That was
Hey,
a waste man.
bomb, bomb drop.
If you're not pulling out that wallet, that wad, he's a waste. Guys, off
Right,
rip.
and I think it
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think it ties into even what we did for those who checked out the episode that we did with if she's not cooking, cleaning, and providing that WAP, she's WAP. I think it ties in because it's the flip side. Hey, if he ain't spending, if he's not spending on you, he's a waste man. I mean, we can look at different spectrums when it comes to what makes somebody a good person, a good partner, a good boyfriend, man,
Yeah.
woman, girlfriend. So I think I think it's good that we're doing this. So, Marva, what do you
Yeah,
think?
it's like we're
Like,
doing the opposite take now.
yeah.
Yes, sir. But off rip, as I was gonna say, a statement like that, no guys, don't get mad, don't come on our necks. I don't believe in a statement like
Boom. The music had to stop.
that. Your pockets doesn't determine if you're a quote unquote waste man. Because to me, a waste man is it doesn't just have to do with finance, it has to do with the way in which somebody chooses to treat you as well, and the way in which they choose to operate even behind your back. We tend to always forget, the man have to be by himself sometimes. Does he still respect you and respect whatever you guys have going on behind your back and not just to your face? So to me, a waste man, in a sense, it's not dependent on his bank account or how much he spends. Where, however, people, tend to join the two
Mm-hmm.
and the thin line comes in, is when we talk about a guy that wants it all, but he's not willing to spend at all. That's a whole nother discussion. But Taya, what's your take on that?
Wow. Hmm. My take, and guys, don't watch the music being played because me just a play music for the vibes of it. So me tell you already from day one, you can't mark me with the things that I may say sometimes or the things that I play or whatever may be happening at the time because I'm just having a conversation trying to be um open and look at it from different angles.
Mhm.
Hey, I don't know Virgos in the house. Any Virgos, we're very analytic. We like to really think deeply. I'm not saying that it only applies to Virgos, but I'm saying especially for me and what I've seen when it comes to
Yeah.
Virgos. I have to look at it from all angles. So, the song I play right now, Maya and TJ, the Brock Pocket Man. I mean, hey, for those who feel that way, here's your
Ah,
song.
I knew something was coming like that at Wasteman by I think Jada Kingdom and I'm not sure the other girl, Stark Ashley.
That's Ashley.
Mhm.
Right, right. And the funny thing is that's actually lined up next, because I'm here just checking to see, what's lined up, what would you get
Mhm.
from a topic like this? But in seriousness, in my opinion, I honestly agree with you, Marva, in the sense that it's not all about what a man has in his pocket or his bank account. That does not define him. That doesn't mean that he's this type of person or that type of person. I don't think that someone should be classified based on their finances only. I mean, that plays a part, but that should not be the end or be all of what makes a man a good man or a waste man. In essence, it comes down to who the man is at the end of the day, his character. I know a lot of times people like to throw around that word or those two words so easily, waste man. But it's more than that, and we have to be very honest and look deeply into things and not try to be so shallow about materialistic things. Uh, I honestly believe that if a man treats you well, he respects you, he respects himself, he has certain moral or positive characteristics, I think that's a good man. Even if, let's say, his money is not all the way up there, let's say he doesn't have the money to honestly pamper you the way you'd want to be pampered. I still believe that he's a good man. I don't think that he's a waste man just because he's not able to spend. That's from that aspect. Now going on to the other side, I would say, personally, I don't use that word or those words, waste man. I don't call anybody that because I don't know. I really don't know what's the definition of that, so I won't use those words like maybe somebody can tell me. I don't know what somebody says
It's
something.
ironic you say you don't know the definition because I was just gonna pull up, three definitions from Urban Dictionary.
Please, please.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the top definition for a wasteman, it says it's an insult It's someone who does nothing within their life or nothing much within their life. And they give an example. Jimmy drops out of school and has no job and claims benefits for 5 years and still lives at home with his mom as a Jimmy is a waste man. And and then the second definition is a man who doesn't act his age, normally from a village, who spends his life in the same clothes, drinking alcohol, taking drugs, in the local pub, ending up with in someone's kitchen with no job or prospect. And then the last or the third, we only take the top three definitions. A waste man is someone who doesn't provide for their children, instead beeps off, taking no responsibility. Also a hypocritical, okay, this definition goes in like cussing at men. I'm shocked this is an Urban Dictionary. But I guess, we'll take the fourth one that says a boy that is worthless and has no reason to be living can also be very stupid and self-centered. Okay. They're coming out strong. But I get a waste man, just, again, it's not necessarily a person's pocket, but their life and the things they do and what they bring to the table. So to measure a man's money and say he's a waste man, I guess you could use that, playing devil's advocate. On the flip side, somebody could use a man, having money as him, having a job or out there doing something productive with his life to make some means of money, and he's not doing anything at all, so he cannot contribute to the relationship, can be seen as a waste man. So if I'm playing devil's advocate, I can see it from that point of view. However, on the flip side, overall, it shouldn't necessarily be based solely on a man's pocket. No.
Okay. I mean, I understand what you're saying and the definitions. I can see where persons are coming from when they speak of that, now that I have a better understanding. I still, and as you probably heard, I played that part, No Girl No Wanna Broke Pocket Man, based on that song, from Maya and TJ. And I'm still standing on that because, to be honest with you, if anyone knows me, and I say all the time, I speak just based on my views, and at the end of the day, I am not judging anyone based on what they choose to do, but I speak facts based on what I've seen in society. We're speaking of the realities, or let me not use facts, the realities based on what we see. I'm not looking at what I heard what you said, but I'm still standing on what I think this is. I've heard the definitions, but I don't believe most women, when they say waste man, they're speaking of whether he has a job, he drinks, he smokes, he's always, trying to sponge off of someone, or he does nothing with his life. And the reason why I say that is a lot of women, and anyone can come in the comments. Yeah, come down in the comments. But I'm saying a lot of women deal with men who are broke, who are addicted to drugs, who are womanizers, who have baby mothers, and they know the situation. They know how they're treating their baby mothers, or even not taking care of the children that they have. Many women deal with men like this, so it can't really be that the man is a waste man because of those things. Because then that means that most women are dealing with waste men. Then, so why is it that you're going to bash a man and use that term towards him in a moment where you're upset, or you feel like you did get disrespected, or whatever the case may be in that situation, but you don't use it for the men that you deal with on a regular? I'm being honest right now. So
I love that you bring that up, because as Urban Dictionary rightfully said, it's like an insult. So most persons, they know off rip the type of man they're dealing with is this guy. He don't have the money, or he doesn't want to spend the money, or he doesn't see the sense in spending the money. Whether he has it or he doesn't have it, or he just don't put himself in a position to have any at all, and women accept whatever, so he doesn't feel the need to push in that direction. So they get with him doing all these things and extras, and then when they're mad at him, or push comes to shove, or they're comparing or whatever, they curse, oh yeah, waste man.
Exactly. I love what
Not
you're
have
saying.
all the evidence prior.
I love what you're saying. And for us here and on that 20 somethings cast, one thing we try to be is accountable. We try to learn every day. We're not coming on here speaking as though we've arrived and we know everything and everything is perfect. Far
Mhm.
from it. But one thing we do is we are very honest. And I want more ladies, especially, to be honest, people in general, but especially ladies, let's be honest, let's be real, let's be accountable. I'm done with the fake stuff and the pretense kind of vibe. Like, let's come off of that right now. It's 2021. Let's really elevate our mindset here. At the end of the day, it reminds me so much of when a woman is dealing with a guy. And remember, you love the man and I love him and oh, I love him. That's my guy, that's my boo, that's my babe.
Babes for life.
Yeah, yeah, and all of these things. And you know who he is. You know whether or not he has a job. You know whether or not his goals are in check. You know who he is. You've been with him, you've been dating him, you've been seeing him, you've been talking to him. All of these things, you know who you lay down with at night or in the day. Oh, what are you doing? No, no, no. I'm just saying, and this reminds me so much of, for example, a, a female dealing with a guy, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, push comes to shove, you're upset with him, you guys are done, the relationship has ended, you've come to your wits end, and you're gonna come and make a comment like, yeah, and your little D, with your little, and all of these things, and you're something little and move
Not
with your
with
lips,
your
and
little.
all of, no, let's and all of these things, you didn't know, you knew that he was, it was, if it's little, right? You knew that it was little. You didn't know? You knew when you were there laying down and no, don't let me start.
I cannot with
Don't
you.
let me
I cannot with you. Yeah, but I
be
totally get what you're
honest.
trying to say. I agree. Because it is hurdled as an insult, and you only know all these insultive things afterwards. And it's crazy that we chose this topic because Valentine's Day was just around the corner, and a lot of
Yeah,
women would have been expecting gifts or presents from people that they would have been dealing with or dealt with or had some type of relations with. And if the
right.
guy didn't give them anything because social media's pressure to post up whatever you got for Valentine's Day, because of that, the man didn't get you anything. He's a waste man, or in broke pocket, or him this or him that. And I'm like, wait,
Mm.
you didn't know these things before February 14th?
Wow, right? Exactly. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to say. Just let's be real about the situation. Be truthful with yourself first. It comes down to that. All I'm saying is we cannot, let me include myself, we cannot define a man based on whether he spends or not. That's a part of it, but that is should not be the basis on which we count someone a good man or not. At the end of the day, if we're going to say, if we're going to use a waste man to define someone, we have to look at all the factors involved. And as I'm trying to say, even though those definitions are there, when we, especially Caribbean people, because it's really Caribbean people who use this term, waste man, a lot. I don't know of
Yeah.
anyone. When we know what we mean, when we Caribbean women say waste man, we know that it usually ties to his financial status.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, but that is not enough to label a man as a waste man, because sometimes there are situations, there are reasons why someone may not have their money together. It's not their fault that it so happens that you want someone with money and he doesn't have it. The only thing that I would advise is, okay, fine, if you do want someone who is at a certain financial standing, or let's say you yourself, you have your stuff together, you have your finances in check. Why did that man and then put him down? You don't need to do that. What you probably should do is
Yep.
look for like-minded people. Look for like-minded people, and then date someone along your level. And you won't even have to use that term, because we know most times we use that to mean that the man doesn't have money, or him not spend no money, or him ever broke. We know that's what we use the term for. So at the end of the day, stay with someone on your level. Be with those type of people. Why get with someone who you know? And I always refer to this. If me no say, when me see you and you see me, right? I saw you rubbing out your hand mirror from the corner. Like I
Talk
literally
about
saw.
hand nigga or about thing.
No, I just said I love that term. If I saw you rubbing out your hand nail on the corner and that's all you do every time I so happen to see you, maybe we live in the same neighborhood, and you're always sitting down doing just that. You understand? Or maybe you just sit down there on your phone. Because I'm not trying to discriminate against anyone who smokes. But I'm just giving an example. You just
Yeah, I
sitting on
get
your
you.
phone all day, every day, and then you try to speak to me, we date, we get into a relationship. What can I expect when I saw who you were from day one? And we as women, we need to be honest and we have to be real. When we see someone, and anyone in general, actually, men or women, when you see someone, accept them for them. And based on that, if anything, you can say, okay, I see the person elevating, doing better, trying to better their lives. But do not see the person as they are and then try to bash them for who they are.
Mm,
They showed you who they were
true.
from the get go, from morning. I know nothing new. You get me? So why try to insult the person? And I hear men say all the time, oh, and they say something like, oh, so what that mean or where I bring that up or whatever, because they're trying to say, what's the purpose of trying to use that right now to embarrass me? When you knew this. You knew this. So what's new?
I don't even think it's just like for embarrassment purposes only, but then also sometimes, especially some women, it goes to a point where you try to change again because again, society puts in so much pressure on you to make sure, hey, you have the guy that works a six figure, the guy that's well dressed, the guy that is still masculine, the guy that is this, the guy that is that, and everything on the third, and then the fact remains that not everybody is going to get this 100% perfect guy. But because
Mm-hmm.
of society, you feel like, hey, what if this man that you already took up, knowing what he was, seeing what it
Mm-hmm.
was from the beginning, you still take him up because you just want somebody, you want some type of companionship, and you try and change him. You try and change him. You try and change him because society tells you here what you should have gotten a gift for. You should be engaged by now, or him to make X amount of money, or him supposed to leverage you out, Birkin bag me. Like he didn't sign up with Birkin bag assets. Why he doesn't show intentions of getting
Right.
Birkin bag assets.
Ask me out. Ask me out. Ask me
How?
out.
Ice cube you out from the refrigerator. Because he just did that, just wasn't the type of person you got with. So why
Right.
look for these things and then no, because this man cannot do it. He's a
Mm-hmm.
waste man. He's a good for nothing. He's the scrum of the earth. But you got him knowing these things.
Right. And I must add to that. I must add to that. I don't. I honestly don't believe that a lot of ladies want so much money. It's not really so much of the money that they want. Because for many persons, they don't even have anything to do with the money. They don't have a plan. They don't have goals. They have no reason why they need this money. They don't need the money. What happens is, as you said, there's so much pressure to look as though you're living a lavish lifestyle. You're being pampered. You just have money to waste. And I use that word because that's what I feel. That's what I classify it as being wasteful. Here's what I'm saying. No, and for anyone who knows me and you've been listening to the podcast or you know me personally, I'm very traditional and old-fashioned in the sense that I do believe that we have gender roles. That's just my personal view. I'm not saying if tomorrow comes, of course I'm working, I have my own goals, I stand on my own 2 feet, right? So I'm able to do for myself. But what I'm saying is, I do believe that if I'm with a man and that's my man, that he should be able to spend in regards to taking care of certain things, right? He should be able to. That's the word I'm going to use, able to. It doesn't mean that he has to. So if someone says to me as a man, you know, I don't do that, I believe that you should take care of me, or I believe that we should split this, I'm not going to be upset with him because that's his view. You understand? So I'm not saying to anyone, oh, this is how it should be, and there should be no change, and any man who doesn't take care of a woman 100% is not good. I would never say that. But what I know is, for me personally, that's a lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
that I choose to live, because, as I said, I am old fashioned like that. And I do believe that someone has to be the man in the relationship, and it ain't me. It ain't me. So somebody step up and say who has the balls. I don't. That's just my choice. We can dispute. You can send me a DM. You know, you can drop a comment down below. I don't know. Let's really see. You get me?
Yeah.
But that's just my view. So what I'm trying to get at is, at the end of the day, a lot of ladies don't need the money. You know, we don't necessarily need the money, especially in this day and age, where a lot of ladies are getting their degrees, they're working, they're getting their bags. Hey, do you? So what is the main reason why you're pressuring the man to have that type of money? What's the reason? Why is it that you need him to be spending? And if he's not spending this, if he's not buying these
This
gifts every
is
week, if he's not flying you out, then he's a waste man. Why? I don't understand that. And a lot of times it's only to keep up with social media and to look good for social media. There's no need to pressure someone for any reason other than the fact that, let's say, you guys are in a committed relationship where you may have children or you're married, you know bills have to be taken care of. You know that mortgage has to be paid. You know that you need to put aside for the children's college fund. You know that there are real serious achievements that you guys
mm-hmm.
have to get to. But if it's just because you want just a man to be able to say, buy you a new gold chain, you know, do your nails, buy you the latest lace wig, as I said, fly you out, put you in a resort, buy you the
Mm-hmm.
expensive roses, that is not a need. And I always say, and I'm just going to wrap this up on this point, I always say, at the end of the day, I say this all the time. If I'm dating a guy and we're just dating, we're just in a relationship, but we have not decided, okay, we're moving towards marriage or anything serious on that level yet.
Uh-huh.
I personally don't believe that the man has to be spending out all the money in his account or flashing what he has or doing everything for me. I'm not expecting him to pay my rent. Somebody might really want to fight me for this. I'm not expecting him to pay my rent, to pay all my bills, to pay for my university tuition. I'm not expecting that, to be honest with you, because he's not obligated to me. Just like as we say, he's not. I'm not obligated to go to his house and wash his clothes, or wash his clothes from my house, bring them to his house, cook food him every day, every Sunday, set up in plate. No, or split on my head top, you know, go like I'm not
I
obligated to
get
do that. And
that.
he's not obligated to spend all the money in his account for me to make me happy. And we have to be honest as ladies, even though yes, he's a man, I still am very fair. And he's not obligated to do that. So why is he a waste man if he doesn't do that? He's not even your husband. He's not the picnic with you. You and him don't have any you guys are in a committed long-term relationship. Why?
That I think that's true, but I don't want to. And we speak about that a lot. Again, if you're not tuned into our Instagram, we have
Mm,
these discussion every Monday and Thursday night on our Instagram. You know, it started being every single night, and we were on there for hours, and we had to know had a schedule. So we think govern, you know, when to come and reach you and days and time. And we talk about stuff like this all the time. So I won't really go down into that part as much because I agree 100%. I just don't want as well the men to feel like they're off the hook, yeah. Because the same
yeah,
how I'm gonna hold my kind females, I'm gonna hold you accountable for the decisions you make. I'm gonna hold the man accountable for decisions he also makes. You know, we
definitely.
have to play fair ball. And most guys, they know hell what. Let me not even say most guys know. I think there's just some fundamental things you enter relationships with, and each gender will have something fundamental fundamental about them that I think is needed in a relationship. For some people, the need is high. For other people, the need is low. And
Mm-hmm.
we tend sometimes to sum those up as a preference. And we all have
Right.
different preferences in relationships, yeah? Or and expectations in the other person. Realistic, not the far-fetched fairy tale one them. The realistic one them.
Mm.
I know for a fact as a man coming into a relationship, especially dependent on your age, and the type of
Right.
person that you're looking for, finances will have to be one of those things you bring.
Absolutely.
Finances is something that you bring, so it shouldn't be a case where now I'm wondering, hey, is he going to pay for this? If should he take me out on Valentine's Day? Should we do something? And this is external of the social media and the societal pressures, because there's just some things again that are fundamental to relationships. They might be
Right.
high for some people and they might be low for some people. Like on our podcast, we discussed getting gifts for Valentine's. And many people, would say, here what? The lady is who would necessarily get a gift for Valentine's because that's who it's marketed to. Not saying a man cannot receive something, but it's mostly for ladies. You
Mm-hmm.
know it is coming up. If it is high on your person's things, list of things that they just enjoy or they just prefer, why would you not try to do something? Not saying she should call your waste man if you can't do it, but not saying you shouldn't do something as well. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you
Yeah.
shouldn't try, hey, to take this person out on some dates. Man, I say I love an expensive date, but spend a little, invest in a little in this woman because she is investing into you too. So I think
Mm-hmm.
when I'm playing fear here, no, she shouldn't call your waste man, but yes, you should want to spend something on that person. So it shouldn't ever come to a point where you're not spending say your waste man. So we shouldn't ever be clashing like that when we're both adults about our situation.
I love what you said. I love what you said. And it's true. I basically was just setting a foundation, giving or showing how it may look from that aspect. But I would have to be honest. I would never sit here and make it seem like, oh, I would not want a man to take care of me or to do for me or to show that care, because by extension, that is him showing his care for me. And that's why when I said I'm very traditional in that sense, that, okay, here's the man and he's showing his care for me, because I believe if someone is saying that they love you, they value you as a man, especially, they care for you should show that in the way that you can assist me and be of value in my life. And we always talk about the basics and just nature in general. And a lot of people will come, as I said, a lot of people will say what they have to say, men and women, whether it be on Instagram, a lot of times on our Instagram live, or
Mm-hmm.
DM us, whatever it may be. And you're free to do that. This is a free space for you to express yourself. My view
Yeah.
is my view is there is a basis. There is underlying platforms that we both stand on, men and women. At the end of the day, I do believe that men are givers, we're receivers. We give of ourselves. So it's different. I think I was having a conversation with someone the other day. Someone DM'd me and we were just having a conversation, a guy, and I was saying to him, nothing is wrong with a woman giving a gift on Valentine's Day. I'm all for that. Personally, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day, but that's just me. However, I was just speaking with him, and at the end of the day, I said nothing is wrong with a woman giving a gift on Valentine's Day. But we know, as Marvel, you were saying, it's marketed towards men giving or buying women gifts. So at the end of the day, we have to look at why. The reason is you're a man, you're a giver, I'm a woman, I'm a receiver. And that's just the truth of it. So I do see why women would say that a man is a waste man because he's not spending. I just think that maybe that's not a good word. I think we can try to describe that as something else or define that as something else in terms of him not spending. I just don't think that it's a waste man, because when I think of waste, It's like you're saying the person is trash. I don't think someone is trash just because they don't spend. I will, however, say that that man has not grown up yet. You really haven't tapped into yourself yet, and there's a lot more that you need to learn. Because if a woman is giving of herself, as I said, emotionally and physically, because we do that when we are with you or we're in a relationship, we're catering to you, however that may be, we are of value to you. I believe in this, just being who we are. Hopefully, especially if you, as a woman, you're non-toxic, and that's another conversation. I'm speaking for a man who wants value in a woman. You have to be non-toxic. You have to be someone who is truly bringing value to his life, something that he cherishes. And it's just not every woman who is able to do that and bring that. So let's say you are that woman who's in good standing, not perfect, but in good standing, and you're truly, bringing something into a man's life that he can say, yes, I feel good about you.
Uh-huh.
I'm happy with you. You doing that and you being who you are present in his life is a blessing. That may come with other things. I'm not just saying that's all about emotional or spiritual levels. I'm speaking of, even, let's say, you guys have something that you're working on, projects, motivationally, whatever it may be, you are bringing value. At the end of the day, he needs to also be reciprocating. He needs to be adding value. And the value, more than likely, that he adds is going to be something that regards money or something of physical substance. Let's be honest, it's been happening from the beginning of time. If a man, let's look back at how it was back in the days. If you were a woman and you were there, as I said, you were motivating him, you were by his side, you were helping
Uh-huh.
him go through whatever he was going through at the time. You were taking care of the household, you were cooking, cleaning. Obviously, sex was involved. You bore his children. What was the man given at that time? When we look, or if we ask older persons, it was something of physical substance, financially. Now, it may not have been money at that time because maybe the currency was different. Of course, it could have been animals, it could have been his protection, it could have been his guidance, it could have been him going out to hunt, whatever that was. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
go fishing, whatever it was at that time,
Yeah.
but it was something of physical substance. Yes, so it means he has to bring something of physical substance. We need substance. We actually need to see something with our eyes. We need to see that you're achieving, you're bringing something home, so to speak. At the end of the day, we're just laying up with you. We're just calling, spending time, giving ourselves, doing for you, being that person at your side, and you're doing nothing for us in return. No way. And I said this to the guy, and I always say this to guys. It's different. It's
Uh-huh.
different for a woman and a man when it comes to sex. And when a woman is giving of herself sexually, it means so much more. It takes so much. It's a bigger piece of her. For you, it may not be the same. So when we do that, you have to be reciprocating. And to be honest, you can't say, well, I'm giving of my body too. It's not the same. So then what do you give to me? Because everything is a give and take. And I always say, in any relationship, whether it be friendships,
Uh-huh.
woman, a romantic relationship, our co-workers, family, everything is about giving and taking. Somebody might not want to hear me say this and say it sounds so selfish, but I'm being honest. In
I
any
agree.
relationship,
I agree 1,000%. You have to give and take.
you have to be able to say, okay, I'm actually getting something from this. It may not be money, it may not be anything financial,
Mm-hmm.
it may not be anything materialistic, but you have to actually be getting something, meaning whether you get happiness, whether you get joy, whether
Peace
you
of
get peace,
mind.
whether you get companionship, whatever maybe you get advice, maybe you get financial help, whatever it may be, right? All of that encompasses relationships. So at the end of the day, what is it that you are getting or that guy is giving to you? Guys, what are you giving to the lady? Why you should just be sitting there saying you have a woman and you are bringing nothing to the table? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it doesn't work that way. So I do want to clear that up. I'm not saying that, oh man, must just sit down and just think that anything goes, because I'm not defend that. And nobody, don't look in my direction. Don't look in my direction if you're trying to do that. It feels as though you're sucking and you're draining a woman if a man can sit down, fold his arms, and just feel,
Mm.
oh, I'm just here, and as long as I'm here, I'm good. As a man, how can you even feel good in yourself? It's to me, it's very disgraceful for you to sit down and feel good about that. And I don't think that a man feels good. It's just you being delusional if you feel that way. Any guy that I'm speaking to right now.
That's true. And I'm always agreeing when it comes to certain things that you have to give and take, and not just on the premise of give and take, but it's how high you rank certain things. And this goes for men and women. If you know you are looking for something specific that you expect out of an individual, that you know is going to be a life partner that you're going to give yourself to, you have to be willing to give something back or take certain things, or be able to manage, or I should say, or tolerate certain things. And when it comes to sex, because again, most women would even classify a guy a waste man because he's not giving them anything financially, yet she decides, hey, I'm not giving you sex unless you've contributed to me financially. Because one thing that I hate that people argue is that sadly society has reduced a woman's strength to what she can, between man and woman and relations in that, dimension. It has reduced women to her bargaining chip is sex, and a man's bargaining chip is finances. It's very sad, and most people don't like to admit it and own up to that fact, but that is what it is. I'm not saying it's right, but that's just the world we live in. If we had to all live in the worlds that we think was right, it would be a utopian society. But that's not how it is. And then and therefore, giving sex, not just if you put a financial value on it, but it is something valued to women. Yes, some men will value sex as well, and some women will value their financial money, but sex is something both persons should value. It's just so happen a woman might value it higher because she's a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Her design and her makeup is to receive. The receive no means she receive your money. But if you lay up, if you lay up 9 out of 10 chances, well no, 7 out of 10 chances is that she has a lot more to receive physically with the whole process of sex and emotionally, because women are emotional beings. Again, I don't care who wanna fight me, square up. Females, we are more emotional and men are more logic. But that doesn't mean you cannot be logical. It's just that you will more be a bit emotional. And men will be logical, but that don't mean they're not emotional as well. It's just that we all have our moments and our areas where we shine. And that's just how the cookie crumbles.
Exactly. Exactly. But it comes down to, in my opinion, it comes down to persons looking at their current situation and looking into the types of persons that they date. At the end of the day, if it is that you don't want a waste man, well, okay, level up yourself, make sure you're on a good level and you're in good standing, and then attract those things that you desire and who you are. But there's no need to be bashing a man and classifying him as a waste man when you are the one who chose to be with him, unless he forced you, unless he held you captive to be in a relationship or to be with him. You decided on that. And men, level yourself up to the place where you're comfortable, you're confident, you know your stuff, and you're out here winning and achieving in whatever regards that may be. It doesn't mean that you have to be a millionaire. It doesn't mean that you have to have the Benz and the Lamborghini, but do
Mm-hmm.
your best for your situation and for the goals that you want for your life. That's all I'm saying. And if
Yeah.
would both of us would be doing what we needed to do to be better, I don't think that term would even be used. It wouldn't be used. Also, I honestly believe that if a man has really worked hard and gotten to a certain level, he wouldn't even hear that word because he would know that, okay, I'm in the position where I can offer assistance, I can help, I am able to do this for her. based on the dynamics of our relationship and the fact that I want to do this. I think it would then become more of a want and not so much a pressure, because you would see, okay, this is the type of person that I'm with, and I choose to be with her. Just the same as she chooses to be with you, I choose to be with her. I know that based on the conversations we've had, and that's why communicating is so important. She values that. She values me being able to be there for her and assist her. So I'm able to bring that to the table. You understand?
Yep. And those are stuff I will always agree on. Communication, understanding yourself, being able to take self responsibility and accountability for one's actions, and using the tools that we've been granted. Before time, we weren't having open discussions about this, and you had to go in blindly and not understand, hey, why is this happening to me? Why am I attracting this type of person? Why am I not getting results that I want? And XYZ and then I'm gonna P when it comes to relationship and just being a young person in general and going through life and the challenges that we'll be faced with in our 20s. But I'm glad we have these discussions so people here can engage and think more logical and realistic about the world we live in. But we
Yeah.
can't hammer this enough. We can't hammer this enough. So, guys, you're not a waste man if you're not spending. Sis, the man isn't a waste man if he's not spending when he told you and his signs showed that he had nothing to bring to the table. Okay? Okay?
Right.
So let's just add that nobody is a waste man, nobody is a waste gal, because we're gonna touch on the waste gal thing in
Mm,
Instagram live video for this week Thursday.
right.
So make sure you tune into our Instagram. You never know what topic we're gonna drop and how you're gonna
Right.
get hints, because we do giveaways over there as well. So you
Definitely,
just never
guys.
know.
Do remember you can follow us on Instagram at satoya.uno, and
I am Mama.
yes, but it was great doing another episode. This was fun. I like this, to have these open and honest conversations about real things that
Mhm.
we see every day. So definitely, guys, just keep listening, keep staying tuned. The numbers have been rising, and we're very grateful. So thank you, and just stay
Yes,
with us.
we always got to thank you guys for the numbers. It has been a great run. We just at episode 6, and it has
Yes,
been fantastic, guys. So that's all we
absolutely.
also have for today. Remember to go out there and do great, awesome things, and don't let anybody take a piece of your mental peace.
Never.
Bye.
Bye, guys.